everyone, it's Mads from Denim & Leather and I'm here with Myke Gray. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So we're here at the Rock and Blues Custom Show and you're going to be playing on the outdoor stage, so how are you looking forward to that?
It's always great to play at festivals, purely because you never know what's going to happen. You know, you don't know about the weather, you don't know, so many things can go wrong. You know, so you have to go in with a very open mind that like, shit could hit the fan, but you just plow through it. And if you can come through the other side and played all your songs and people are clapping, that's about as much as you can ever hope for with a festival.
You've got Kim Jennett on vocals with you today.
Yes.
So what is this project and how did it kind of come about?
Well, I mean, it literally came about by Facebook. I'm a big fan of Facebook. I love it. I've met incredible people through it, and someone just sent me a video of a girl playing along to an acoustic guitar. Now, I've worked with phenomenal singers, some of the best in the world, and so I like to think I know a good one when I hear one. And I was just blown away by this girl singing some blues to an acoustic guitar. So I contacted her and just, you know, I needed to see it for my own eyes. And so she came to a rehearsal room in Derby, not far from here, and she'd learned a couple of songs, a song called Take Me Home and a song called Counts for Nothing, which is a red, white and blue song. And we went into a rehearsal room and she was mind-blowing, so just blew me away. So that was the start of our relationship, and then from there it's just kind of gradually built. She came on tour with us when we opened for Black Star Riders, and she was phenomenal. And then that's when the idea came into my head. I could write some songs for her. So we discussed it and I said, how would you like to make an album? And from that moment onwards, we've been working on her solo album.
So you've had the chance to play on some pretty big stages with other bands like Skin. Mm-hmm. So how is it to be going out under your own name?
Oh, that's a big question. I mean, every band that I've ever been in, whether it be Jagged Edge or Skin, I've always put the bands together. You know, so I've always been the songwriter on these projects, and so I'm used to being in charge of them, even though it's like a brand name. And because singers are unbelievably difficult to get on with, out of every musician I've ever worked with, they are a breed apart. You know, it's. I think a lot of it stems down to the fact that a singer is kind of naturally gifted, especially the great singers. You know, they just open their mouth and they can sing, and it comes out and it sounds fantastic. Whereas great guitarists or great drummers or great bass players, drummers, they tend to have to spend like 15 years before you even start to get good. But a singer just kind of like, I can sing, you know, and with that comes a certain mindset. And of course, they're the one who stands at the front and delivers the whole thing. So they have a massive responsibility, because generally it's the singer that everyone remembers, whether it be Axl Rose or whether it be David Coverdale. They're kind of like the focal point of the band. And so I think it breeds a certain mentality, which can be very, very difficult to get on with. And so when I started to play music again, I didn't want to work with a singer, because it was just too emotionally draining. You know, because I have to write songs for them, you have to get to know them, know what they can and can't sing, and write lyrics that suits their personalities. And I just, at that moment in time, I just couldn't be dealing with it. Until I met Kim. And then Kim became someone that was kind of like, yeah, I don't mind committing 2 years of my life to make it work for her, because she's that good.
So we're pretty close to Donington here, and you've been lucky enough to have a crazy amount of appearances at Download, haven't you?
Yeah, very lucky.
So how do you kind of look back on that?
Just with, I really can't believe that I've done them. First time I played it was in 1994, and I was very lucky to have Rod Smallwood as my manager, who's, you know, probably the greatest rock manager ever. You know, he's kept Iron Maiden at that top spot for so long. He's a ferocious individual, and he had a lot of power, and the fact that he was my manager for 9 years gave me opportunities that most people wouldn't. So we got the invitation to play that year. Aerosmith, I believe, was headlining in Extreme, and that was 94. And then Skin reformed in 2009, and I played the Red, White and Blues, and it's just a privilege. You know, for me, my first download or Donington experience, Monsters of Rock, was when AC/DC played and Ozzy Osbourne played and Van Halen played. And I was 15 years of age, and I was very, very lucky to get backstage passes. And on that day I met Jakey Lee, who was a guitar player for Ozzy Osbourne. I met Eddie Van Halen, and I was introduced to it, and it was for me a very epiphanal moment in my life. It was kind of like, until I play here, I'm not going to rest.
You've had a great career, but what was it like, you know, having huge hit singles and playing on Top of the Pops with Skin back in the 90s?
And I'll be completely honest with you, at that particular time, it seemed all natural. It seemed like we should have a record deal. It seemed like we should be on tour with Whitesnake, that we should be, you know, there's a certain level of, you often hear it with footballers, that when they're young, they have no fear. So they go into cup finals and they play with no fear. And the older players are the ones who get the most nerves because it means so much to them now. And it's no different for me as a musician. At that particular time, it just seemed natural that we should be doing it. It all just seemed like, yeah, this is it, this is how it goes. It was only later on in my life where I had a true appreciation for being there. I think when I was like 21, 22, I was probably overly arrogant and just thought, yeah, this is what I do. But now it's like, it's just a privilege. It's just a privilege.
So what is next for you now?
Really, it's finishing Kim's album. You know, it's a hard work. You know, when you're producing it yourself, you're writing the songs yourself, you're doing all the stuff. It's a lot of responsibility. It takes a lot of time. So, as we're doing it in slow stages, there's another single coming out very soon, and all of my energy is diverted towards finishing Kim's record. So that's literally all of my free time, because I'm a martial art instructor, I'm a personal trainer, so it's marrying up your day job as well. So that's what we're doing. Hopefully it'll be finished by the end of the year.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for chatting. Enjoy your set today.
Thank you so much.
Make sure you check out Myke Gray and come back to Denim and Leather for more. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.